Welcome everybody to the Red Rock City Lifestyle Podcast, where we reveal the best in class of local businesses here in Las Vegas, specifically the Summerlin area. I'm Camila Durand, your host, and I'm honored today to have here with me Lisa and Paris Bayardo. This power couple has several local businesses and 3 kids. I don't know how they manage it. 4 kids. Oh my God, I missed one. Sorry. 4 kids. So welcome, Lisa and Paris. Please tell our listeners all about you, how you juggle family and business and Prime IV. That's what we're here to talk about.
Oh, we get asked this question all the time because we love business. We love what we do. And my answer is always the same, just like it is with everybody else. Is like, it's really become a part of our lives. Like, the kids love what we do and they love to participate in it. Do they kick and scream just the same way they kick and scream when we take them to practice? Yep. But
are they locked out of this room right now? Yes, they are.
100%.
Yep.
They know mom and dad are doing a podcast, and they really enjoy it too. They get to see how it affects other people's lives. We have a direct vision of how we affect our own community.
Mm-hmm.
And so we really enjoy that. And that's kind of why our businesses have been really around the stuff that we really like to do, right? Stuff that we appreciate. And I think that's where a lot of our passion comes from.
To be an entrepreneur, you have to be passionate about things, right? Otherwise, your business is not going to grow so well, I believe. Well, how many businesses do you guys have?
So
now?
Yeah.
Well, over time, we've had a lot.
I think
but
right now
actively
we have
4 right now.
What are they?
It fluctuates, right?
How does it fluctuate, Lisa? Tell me more.
Well, I mean, we've had other businesses in the past. So, I mean, we used to own a rhino linings business where, you'd spray the truck beds, the linings of the truck beds. We don't have that anymore. We used to own elderly group care homes, but we sold that a while ago. But right now, the big ones that we have right now are Prime Cleaning Systems, which is what he does. It's had since 2012. Okay. And that is no relation to Prime IV Hydration and Wellness. That was the
name. The name was just there. Wow.
The name was already there. The
franchise.
Yes. So Prime IV Hydration and Wellness is a franchise that we discovered at the end of 2020. But it piqued Paris's interest because he saw something about Prime in the same colors as his cleaning company. And so he kind of clicked on it, read more, and that's how we got into that. So Prime IV, Prime Cleaning, those are our 2 main ones. I do more Prime IV, he does more Prime Cleaning. So that's what we do right now, as well as hospice consulting for Paris. And what else am I missing?
Well, we have two locations with our Prime IV. So
okay.
Yeah, we're going to have our second one.
So right now we have.
I did not know that.
Yes. So we have our Summerlin location and currently building out our Centennial location.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That is huge news.
Yeah.
That should be opening end of August, beginning of September, maybe end of August. We're just in the beginning of the build out. So it's looking great. Met with our GC yesterday, but very excited to have location number 2. The first one's been doing great. We love it. We love what we're doing with in the vitamin world. We have a few other things, which I'm sure we'll talk about here, that we're doing at Prime IV. But to be able to expand that to another location, we're super excited to be able to do that.
Wow, I am so happy for you guys. That is such huge news. Are we going to have a party or what?
Always.
Yeah.
So
grand opening for sure.
I gotta tell you, Camila, our grand openings are no joke. Like, last time we had a DJ, we had a ton of food, we had a bunch of people there, we had a few local officials, we had
giveaways.
We did a bunch of giveaways. We had a chamber there. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Oh my God, Red Rock City Lifestyle has to go cover this grand opening for sure. We have to put it in our announcements, our city scene, our calendar of events. When do you plan on opening it?
End of August.
End of August. Wonderful. So let's.
Yeah, coincidentally, it was like that's when we opened Summerlin also.
Yeah, so right around the year mark. So, but I know I met with our GC yesterday because he's being done. That's okay. planning on being done middle of August. So then, you take about another week or so to fill it with all your furniture and furnishings and everything. So we're shooting that everything keeps going great. Permittings keep going well. And
it will, for sure. How long have you guys had this? You said end of 2020, the Prime IV Summerlin location?
Yes.
Well, that's when we found out, kind of discovered the Prime IV Hydration Wellness franchise. But we didn't open our location until it must have been 2022, our brick and mortar location.
Yeah. So I don't know if you guys remember, but during COVID, finding retail space was really, really difficult, and the retail space that we needed. And then on top of that, in Summerlin, like it's a high demand area, and so it was really, really difficult finding space there. Finally found the space. It took some time to get the lease in place. And then I don't know if you remember, but contractors at that time were overwhelmed and materials were hard to come by. So there was a lot that we were up against. So it took a little longer than
it took like 8 months to build out.
Yeah.
And this one's taken about 2. We're on 2 months.
So
really, what a difference.
Vast difference. Yeah, vast difference. But what's funny about the story about Prime IV is literally I was taking a cousin she was having an interview for a healthcare business, and I was down there helping her. She was from Texas, so I was giving her a ride, and I was sitting outside, and my mom called me and she said, "Hey, I'm tired of what I'm doing. Let's find something for me to do." And I was like, "Fine, let's find my mom a business to do." And I was looking, and then I was like, tired of looking. I just started scrolling on Facebook, and boop, up comes this like vitamin world of IVs. And I've been doing Myers cocktails for
a while,
for a long time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But they were hard to come by because it's not something common. It wasn't common at all. So it would take hours and hours to get these bags delivered to the doctor's office. Then they would get there and it would take forever for the bag to happen. So it was like a half-day process. It was really long.
And who has half a day nowadays?
No one.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So when we found these guys, I was like, oh, this is what we got to do. And I convinced Elisa, like, we should do this. And it really turned into Lisa doing it, and she's done a tremendous job with it. She's really shouldered it and has taken it to the next level, better than I could have ever done, to be honest. She has a good vision for it. She's great with people. And for the most part, our customers really love her too. So
I love that. Tell us a little bit about everything that you do. You have the IV bags, and you said, oh, there's more stuff now. So tell us what makes you like the best in class in Summerlin in IV hydration.
So when people typically think of vitamin IV hydration, especially in Vegas, first thing that comes to mind is what? Hangover recovery. So yes, Vegas has been known for doing that for a very long time, which is good. It kind of gets in your brain that you can get vitamins or IVs besides just being in a hospital. But because we're in Summerlin, we're in a local community, we're not on the strip, we really are catered towards locals here. I don't want to see you once and be done. I want you to come back. I want to see you 2 or 3 times a month. So that's why I try to have pricing that is great for you to come back for more. That's why I have good quality. We really have great quality. I've had nurses that have actually worked for other IV companies throughout the valley, and they all say the same thing. When they come work for me and they look at our recipes about, how much of an additive they put into these IVs, and they all say, you put in this much like ascorbic acid and you're only charging this price for it. So we have great quality IVs. That's probably one big differential. And I know that's hard for the layperson to understand, but the quality of our drips are really great. We really do put a lot of pride into what we're giving our people and for the price we're giving it to them. Also, another thing we do, if you're a member with us, we have 0 gravity massage chairs. So when you're getting your IV, you can be getting a full body massage, head to toe in a massage chair. My mom even goes just for the chairs. She loves it more than so that's really cool. So we have that. We have eye masks. People fall asleep all the time. And so that's a great differentiator. And also a couple things that we do. We also do IM injections with intramuscular. So some things we can also give via injection. And a couple things that are a little different than IV is and vitamins is peptides. So I don't know if you've heard of terzepatide, semaglutide, if you've heard of those things. People also know
Semaglutide, yes, but not the other Trezid block.
Semaglutide is the same as like Wegovy, Ozempic, and then terzepatide is the same as
Okay.
Mounjaro, those GLP-1s. We also have ceramorelin, which is another peptide, and those are great for weight loss. So it helps aid in that. So we can also do weight loss peptides. And one thing we just started probably 6 weeks ago, maybe 2 months ago, was BHRT. I don't know if you've ever heard of that before.
No.
So that stands for bioidentical hormone replacement.
Oh, yes, I have that. Yes, I go through that myself, not through IV drip. And I didn't know the B was in front of the HRT. So
Well,
yeah.
it's not.
Not for everything.
It's actually not.
Yeah.
So, Camila,
okay, enlighten me, please. Yes.
Yeah. So there's actually a big difference between hormone replacement therapy
Okay.
and bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. So we went through a very specific company, very specific doctor who's been doing this type of medicine since the late 80s, right? So he's been, or early 90s, I forget.
Yeah.
But he's been doing it for a long time, right? For as long as I've been alive. And he's found this passion, and he's been at the forefront of technology and women's health. And Prime was able to get him to be our medical director and oversee our BHRT program.
Wow.
And so we don't use pellets. Our big claim to fame with what we do is we use jojoba oils. So everything's suspended in a jojoba oil and super good for you. There's no toxins. So a lot of these creams that have fillers in them that people use to put on their arms, a lot of those creams are really toxic. And those things, because they have to use solvents in order to carry the hormones into the bloodstream. And those solvents can be harmful. So we chose to go and stick with the Bright formula, which is using natural oils like jojoba oil as a suspension and to really drive in the hormones into the bodies. So that's the biggest difference. So they're cleaner, they're safer, and the biggest thing is they're easily adjustable, right? If I put pellets in you, I can't adjust those. The pellets stay in there for 90 days. If you rub our oil on you and you feel like this isn't working, I need to up it or lower it, I don't feel right, we can make those adjustments right away. We don't have to wait the 90 days. And that's a big deal for women. It's hard for me because I'm a male to understand that. But when I hear people walk in and say, I've never felt better, that to me is like, I can only equate what that means to me, right? So when, like, for example, when she had me do NAD, I've never felt better. As I tell everybody about it, like, you got to do NAD. You'll never feel better. It's the greatest thing. It's great for a natural way to get this natural energy to get your cells really going, cell turnover. BHRT is the program we follows those exact same guidelines. Safety is a big part of what we do. Like, we'll have to give you a tour one day inside of where we compound things, right? We have all the safety measures that pharmacies have. You won't find that anywhere else. A lot of these programs, nurses are walking around with, stuff that really should be refrigerated, and they're just in little coolers in their cars. Programs that don't really understand. We work really closely with all our regulating agencies. These are all things that we've really taken into consideration because your safety is at the forefront of what we do, right?
For sure.
And then everything else we get to enjoy together.
For sure. I love it. I've actually been in the business and I've already taken a tour. I was really impressed by the space. Lisa was kind enough to show me. And I still owe a visit to get some drips, but I'm very much afraid of needles. And
a lot of people are.
Yeah. So how do you overcome that fear when people are like, I want an IV drip, but I'm afraid of needles? What do you do? Here's some champagne. Or just kidding. What do you do?
Yeah.
Right. There's a couple different things. I think first, if somebody walks in the door and says that, that's already a huge step of faith they're taking, because they know they have this fear, but they really want to see benefits here.
They walk through the door.
They walk through the door.
That's half the battle.
By their significant other, or they were forced by their spouse, like, you're sick.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I probably see more people that have a fear of needles around cold and flu season, because when you're sick, what happens? You get desperate. You will do anything to feel better.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll be like, I'm normally so scared of needles, but I cannot get over the sickness. Can you? So when people have a fear of needles, but if they're sick, they don't care. that all goes out the door. So they'll walk in, like I said, cold and flu season. That's typically where you see a lot of that happening, where they'll just be there saying, I just can't get over this hump of the sickness. Just give me something, whatever. And that's one way to get over things. But I would say, generally speaking, there's a couple different ways. One, like with my sister, she has a huge fear of needles and she wouldn't even get shots. And I said, let's just start with some injections here, because we do them in the glute. We default to the glute. So you don't even have to look at the needle. So it's kind of a little bit of exposure therapy that way, where you're still getting something, you can still see benefits by getting injections. So she's doing that. She's doing great. I'm probably a month away from getting her to get an IV. But another way is, our staff is excellent. Our nurses, we have a team of nurses there. They're the ones who do, all the poking, all the making of the bags, everything. And they are so caring, so patient. It's like we want it to feel like a spa. We don't want it to feel clinical, like a doctor's office. Yes, we're very clean, but we want it to feel relaxing and calming. And I hope you got that when you came and visited us. When you came,
I did, for sure.
Yeah, we want it to relax you and not get so excited and overwhelmed. And so I think definitely talking with our nurses and just having them reassure you. I mean, also, I will say this. A lot of times people get poked when they go to the ER, or if they've had a medical emergency, or if they, have a surgery or something and you need to have an IV line started. And I'm just going to be very honest. A lot of those nurses, they can get the job done, but they're probably not.
Well, I'll be very frank. They wouldn't work for us.
Some of them will.
Okay.
Some of them will. I mean, Paris was in the ER probably 4 months ago, and he got poked 4 times, and he had the best veins ever. I
said, ma'am, I'm gonna do this myself. Can you just give me the need? But the truth is we have great staff, and I think the biggest thing to understand is the puncture is the needle itself, but it's a catheter that's in you. So our needles are specific for this. So once the needle enters the vein, it retracts and catheter is placed in. So technically you could bend your arm, you could fight us if you wanted to, but it's not. I think the best thing to understand is it's not a needle that's in your arm at all.
Yeah.
It's a catheter. And
that's important to know. Yeah.
Some people are sitting there, I don't want to bend my arm because the needle's here. I'm like, the needle's not there. I promise you.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's gone. It's only in there for 2 seconds to poke in, put the catheter, and then it's retracted. So, and again, our nurses are great. They're great sticks. I make sure we hire excellent sticks. Every time we hire somebody, they're poking me, they're poking him. That we poke each other, because they can say they're great all day, but I really have to see their skills, because I mean, you could be an excellent nurse for 30 years, but maybe you don't really do IVs much. And starting an IV really is an art form. So we make sure we have expert IV starters in our nurses. And so that really, I think that helps the process a lot, when you know that you can get poked once and not have to be poked and then when they fish and they dig. We don't want that. We know you're choosing to come here. We're not insurance, so it's not like you're forced to be there. So we definitely want to make it as pleasant and as wonderful as an experience as we can for you.
So do you have like a product or an IV drip that is the most sought out by people? Is there one?
It really varies. It varies on the season.
But Paris,
he has a favorite.
I could tell you, there is, because listen, we chase the, like, high performance aging is now the new thing, right? Like, aging in place and high performance aging has really caught trend. The cold plunging, the saunas, you walk into a Sephora, right? I can't go in there because I love it there. And everyone's like, you love it there. We take skincare to the next level. But the truth is this, Camila, is people really are chasing high performance aging, and there's only
Well,
a
the
few ways.
50s are the new 30s.
Yes.
Hello, right?
Yeah.
People are aging really well.
And they're aging really
Yeah.
well. Why? Because vitamins are now becoming, people are understanding the role that vitamin C plays in collagen production. People are understanding how controlling the free radicals in your bloodstream leads to less oxidation, which leads to staying younger longer. There's all, and we can't make any of those claims, but there's studies showing that these type of antioxidants and vitamins help with that. And so I look at our books all the time. Like, so every day I look how many drips were done. And there's 2 drips that really stand out. Performance wise, the champion, you won't find anything in Vegas that compares to the champion for performance. So if you're chasing performance, the champion is the way to go. If you're chasing high performance aging, the glow.
The Glow.
Yeah.
The Glow.
I love that name.
It's
The Glow
got-
and the Champion. They're so
Yeah.
positive.
They are popular.
Yeah, and the Glow has biotin in it, has a great amount of vitamin C, and you get a huge amount of glutathione, which is my favorite out of everything that we have in the store. Glutathione is my go-to for everything.
My thing is, when in doubt, add glutathione.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's great all around. That's probably our favorite product, to be honest.
How many times a month do people have to get, for example, the Champion or the Glow for it to really make a difference or to have like the desired effect?
Yeah. Well, methylation testing has become like really popular. So for some people, we don't do that, but I do encourage people to do that because then we know where deficiencies are, right? Unfortunately, there's not very many blood tests out there that'll give you those types of deficiencies. So for everybody, it's a little different. For me, I can do the Champion once a month and be 100%, but I also supplement NAD in between.
Okay.
But if you talk to my cousin, he goes twice a month. Every other week he's in there doing it, but he works out 2.5 hours, 3 hours a day.
Oh, wow.
I'm in and out in an hour and a half, 5 days a
Yeah.
week, So he goes through a lot more energy than I would ever go through, right? So I think for everybody, it's a little different, but that's why our memberships really cater to the average person 1 time a month, along with vitamin D and vitamin B injections in between. And then the person that's really intense, what we call
Transformation.
the transformation, which is, 2 drips a month with 2 injections.
3
So
injections.
3 injections. So you're really doing something every week for it, which really gets the body just.
But it really just,
Wow.
Paris touched on it. Like, every body is different, right?
Yeah.
So everyone has different needs. Everyone has different goals that they're achieving. And everyone, metabolizes things differently, where somebody can have something and they feel the effects immediately. Others, it's kind of more of a slow burn. It just kind of, getting to know your body is really what's important and imperative here, because we have people that have been with us. Some have been with us since we've opened 2 years ago.
Wow.
And they'll talk about how, oh, this drip, I know I got to take this, a day before I'm about to go on vacation because it makes me feel great. Or I take this one when I know I'm going to get sick. And I mean, they already have their own routine because they know it works so well with their body and they've tried them all. And we also can customize them because our nurses actually compound the bags on site. So even though we have this Glow recipe, if you want to say, hey, can I have some extra, acetylcysteine in there? Yeah, we can add that in there. Or if you want to take something out, we can do that there. So, I mean, I would say, especially with the people that come to us regularly, I mean, they
got their own little trips.
It's like our nurses know, like, oh, that's Stephanie Meyer's cocktail because we know exactly how Stephanie likes her Meyer's. Oh, that's Lisa's Glow right there. We know exactly how she likes her Glow. And so we can customize it to you. We can, add more, do less. I
love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very customized.
How often are you guys open?
6 days a week. So
Okay.
Sundays we're closed. We think it's important for everyone to have a family day or rest day for us and for our
sure.
staff. I know that a lot of patients have been, why can't you open on Sundays? It'd be great. It would be, but I think it's important for everyone to have that time off. But Monday through Fridays, we're open 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturdays, 9 to 6. And we take walk-ins. Obviously, appointments are preferred because if you have an appointment set up, you're going to get right in. But we can do walk-ins, especially injections. Those are easy walk-ins that just takes a couple minutes. But
Yeah, and if there's an injection, Camila, that I can recommend that you would feel like great immediate results, it's a vitamin D injection.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
we were at this golf club we were talking to for a long time. This guy was like, I'm gonna go visit you guys. I'm gonna go visit you. What am I gonna get? I'm like, get a vitamin D.
And he had a fear of needles. I will point out, he made it very clear. I said, just start
He
with
was
the injections. You'll be
Camila, he would start sweating
Yeah.
when we would talk about
Oh
this.
my
He's
stars.
like
That's so
Paris, this is
funny.
stressing me out. It was so funny.
We did not force him to go, but he
Yeah.
really wanted to.
He really wanted to show his
Yeah.
support for the company, so
Yeah.
we were really happy with it. But so I kept telling him, get a vitamin D, get a vitamin D. He came back, I got a vitamin B12. I'm like, that's great. That's great for sleep. He's like, for sleep, I want it for energy. I was like, well, our energy starts with getting good rest. Like that's where it starts.
Right.
He comes the next day and he called me, Paris, I slept amazing. I didn't wake up. He starts telling me, and I said, well, are you going to try the vitamin D? The next week he calls me. He's like, the vitamin D has changed how I see energy completely.
Wow.
Because we're so depleted of vitamin D. And people say, in Vegas, absolutely. Because we're so scared to go outside because it's so freaking hot. It's 110 today. I don't want to go
Yeah,
outside.
I know. Yeah,
know?
definitely.
And because I don't go outside, I don't get vitamin D. And
Right.
and really the trunk is where we collect most of the vitamin D. Well, that's mostly covered up. So the shot is, if there's one thing I recommend you try, Camila, vitamin D.
Yeah.
I will be right there finishing this interview. Just hold my spot. And so where can people find you on social media? How are you on social media? What are your handles?
So on Instagram, we're Prime IV Las Vegas. So go check us out on Instagram, and then on Facebook, Prime IV Las Vegas. And then if you have any questions about anything, Las Vegas at primevhydration.com. But Instagram.
We've
is
got
great.
some great reels on Instagram.
We've been working on our reel
Cool.
lately.
I love
Yeah.
it.
So
I love
that's
it.
been fun this summer. And then same thing when Centennial Hills opened up, it'll be Prime IV Centennial Hills. So we're super excited. We're active on the Instagram. I would say that's a very popular way. I know that's what people get a lot of their news and information, and especially checking out businesses. So we definitely try to keep the Instagram up to date.
All right, I'll check you guys out, and remember to hydrate
Yes.
and stop by Prime
Yes.
IV to hydrate more and nurture your body and your soul and your mind, because it's all connected, right? We're all connected. And it's a pleasure partnering up with you guys in the community to bring the best in class, and you clearly fit that category. And yeah, thanks for your time, guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank you, Camila.
We'll see you soon.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.